And welcome back to episode 58 of Backhouse Productions. No guest today, but I got my buddy here, Jackson, and I'm happy to say that today feels good.
Why does today
feel good? Great question.
Great question.
My answer to that would be because I've decided to make my day feel good. I went out of my way to tell myself I'm going to have a good day today. So we can control whatever we can control, but damn it feels like a good day today. And I'm happy to get a podcast. We got a new soundboard. Happy for that because, God, it's been a week of hell.
Yeah, the new soundboard, it was kind of a struggle to get together, but now it's working like a dream.
But I feel good today because I had the right mindset. And you can control what you can control, right? Don't worry about the things you can't control. Worry about the things you can't control. What are some things that have been done that you can't control, or something that we've heard, or like big news events, something that's happened, and we had no say over the matter, had no real information of what was coming out?
What really happened with Tower 7?
Okay, can you explain what Tower 7 is?
Well, so Tower
and the
7,
whole background?
So there were, like during 9/11 when you have got the first and the second tower, like the two main towers.
Yeah.
And then there's like offset towers, and Tower 7 I think was like a 47-story building that was just right off of the main towers.
Okay.
And the towers get hit. Everybody knows what happens during 9/11. But then a couple hours later, Tower 7, there's a video of it there's like 5 videos of it, like different angles of it literally just falling down into its base. Like you've seen the video.
Yeah, it's like a controlled demolition.
Yeah,
right?
like it falls straight down into its base.
And it looks exactly how the towers felt.
And people tried to say, or the government tries to say that like it was hit with debris from the towers or something, or there were fires. No, it was fires. Like they tried to say that there's fires, and the fires were so bad that it could make a building collapse perfectly into its base. So, like, if you talk to like structural engineers, they like, I guess it was like 87 concrete beams underneath there, like holding it up or whatever. They would all have to burn and give at the exact same time. Like it would have to, it's like a controlled demolition. Like there's dynamite or whatever, bombs dropped around each concrete beam.
So what are you getting to? Why does this matter?
Because we have no control. You were just talking about control.
No, I know, but why is that such a big deal? You just told me a story
because
about a
you
tower
just said
collapsing.
we have no control of.
No, but what does Tower 7 mean?
Oh.
Like, what's the whole thing we got from it? Like, Tower 7
it's
was
just
tied to 9/11. And
well, no,
what?
it's just that the reason I'm bringing it up is because the government lied to us about it.
About just the building Tower 7?
Well, they say that it would happen from fires. And
so why would they just lie about a building like that?
Don't they lie to us.
Just for no reason? Just like, oh, you're arbitrary lying? Like, oh,
because we can't handle the truth. America can't handle the truth. Like, what if we really get into who did 9/11?
Who did 9/11?
I don't want to say. I don't know.
You asked the question.
Who did it? Osama bin Laden, but who was behind it? Was the America
Taliban?
Behind it?
Taliban? I don't
You don't think Bush was behind it at all? I don't know. I don't know. I'm think if that came out, it would be crazy.
Can I pick a bone with something?
Yeah.
And I want to talk about this because, God damn it, all this stuff that I can't control, it's making me think about fantasy football.
Oh gosh.
And you know, you draft Justin Herbert, and I've talked about this. You draft Justin Herbert, and you think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback at least in fantasy, right? But I don't know.
No.
I don't know if it's his fault because he has the same record that Baker Mayfield did when he was on the Browns before he got kicked out of Cleveland. But he has the same record as him. The guy has produced under 10 points in fantasy for the last 5 weeks.
How many points did he give you this week?
He gave me 1 point.
Yeah.
He gave me 1 point with a pick, 96 yards and a pick.
That's hard to stomach.
But you know what I mean? Like, how do the Chargers, like, think about it, like the Chargers is a good, well-organized organization. Like, they've always have good players. They're in a good market. They've always had good quarterbacks from Dan Fouts to Drew Brees to Phillip Rivers to Justin Herbert, and yet they can't win a championship. I don't know if certain franchises are cursed.
Well, you know something that I saw about how you're saying they have a good team? Keenan Allen, like for fantasy, he's on the most first-place teams right now. That's the player on the most first-place fantasy teams.
No, yeah, he just doesn't throw touchdowns. Or he doesn't get
I'm
rushing
talking about Keenan Allen, not Justin Herbert.
No, but Justin Herbert laces the ball to him.
Yeah, but he's not.
They need to fire Joe Staley is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's so funny because the Clippers are from San Diego too. They're the same organization, right? They always have good players. They've been pretty good for the last 15 years, and yet they never get over the hump. It's like there's certain organizations that are they're like the Washington Generals. Like, you think about the Harlem Globetrotters, and you're like, okay, big market teams like Chicago has won a good amount of championships, the Lakers, Boston, Miami, even some Texas with the Spurs, even Dallas won one. Like, big market teams win, and like these other smaller teams lose. They're the Washington Generals, and the Chargers and the Clippers are the embodiment of that, by the way. Like, but the only thing that's different about them and why they stand out is why they're in big markets, but they still suck. They still suck. Even San Francisco wins championships, but San Diego hasn't won a championship ever. Like, San Diego had the Chargers. They're in L.A. The Chargers are in L.A. I've totally forgot they left San Diego.
You were just thinking they were in San Diego this whole time?
They're so irrelevant. They're such an irrelevant
that's true.
franchise.
You know what you were saying about Justin Herbert, though? Like, before this season started, you would have probably put him as a top 5 quarterback.
I think he's a top 7.
No,
I think
not
he's
right
a top
now.
7.
Not right now.
I think Lawrence passed him, but he's still a top 10, top 7 guy.
I would give you top 7 as Mahomes, Purdy, Jalen Hurts, C.J. Stroud, Joe Burrow. What's that, 5? Lamar Jackson, 6. Who am I missing?
Oh, did you say
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Who else am I missing?
That's
7.
about, you got them all.
That's 7.
Trevor Lawrence.
I said him.
You got them all.
So
Maybe
then-
Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray could be.
Nah.
He
I'd
sucks.
but Herbert's just having a couple bad weeks. But like before the season, you could have put him in your top 5.
Yeah, no,
Like,
because he was on track. He led his
people
team to
thought
the
he's the
playoffs
guy.
last year.
Yeah.
I think it's Joe Staley. It's coaching. It's the
Is this his
ownership.
first
I don't
year?
know.
Is this Joe Staley's first year?
No, he's been there forever.
Yeah,
he's been there for like 4 years. He's had a
terrible.
chance to build a team up and use his system in games, and it has failed them constantly. They have lost. I mean, I don't know what the record is in one-score games. It's got to be like they win 20% of those games.
I saw
it's insane.
that. I saw a lot of their games were really close.
Like, it's just like certain franchises are doomed to lose, and I don't understand why. I don't even know if I couldn't, like, if you put Steph Curry on the Clippers to start his career, I still don't think he wins a championship. Like, there's just something about these franchises that like cannot get over the hump. Like, it's weird. Think about those Chris Paul teams with Blake Griffin. Think about that team, like Lob City. That team was really good. JJ Redick.
Oh yeah, dude.
They were really good.
Lob City.
They were really good in 2015. They
Blake
should have won.
Griffin.
And they just blow a 3-1 lead. And then let's keep correlating. Chargers in the playoff round last year against Trevor Lawrence. They're up by 27 points.
Oh my gosh,
They were up by
remember that.
27 points and they lose.
That's crazy. That was
What
crazy.
about that Chargers team from 2009 that was ranked first in offense and first in defense, and they still didn't make the playoffs because they lost so many close games by special teams play that they didn't make the playoffs with the best defense and the best offense.
I saw that. I saw that too. That's disgusting.
How does that happen? How do you have Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers, 2 Hall of Famers on a team, and you can't get to the AFC
Phillip
Championship?
Rivers was the guy though back then, wasn't he?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Drew Brees played for like 3 years there.
Yeah, but Phillip Rivers in 2010 was our guy.
I just, that's a conspiracy. What's behind that stuff? Like, why? There's got to be something to control in that because it's so funny.
What?
Because, we talk about the in-season tournament and we say the in-season tournament was stupid. You know what? I'm going to go back on my word a little bit. I'm going to backtrack and say it was entertaining. It was entertaining. Damn it, I was into the 15th game of the regular season. But, of course, the Lakers won the in-season tournament.
It's just
I'm a Lakers fan, but of course they won it.
It's just another feather on LeBron's hat.
No, it's not. LeBron,
It is.
I don't know what it is.
First in-season tournament, LeBron wins.
Look, you can't blame the Harlem Globetrotters for winning all the time, even though they script the games. The Harlem Globetrotters still win. You got to give it to them. Like, if LeBron's a part of these winning teams, he's a part of these winning teams. He's been on a lot of losing teams.
I don't even know about what the Harlem Globetrotters, they're supposed to win every game.
I know. That's the point. Like, there's, like, organizations like the Clippers and the Chargers that are the Washington Generals. Like, even though it seems like they're going to win or they're going to finally get ahead this time, they always, like, fall on their face. They always fall on their face.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But then you got all these big market teams that have won multiple championships in multiple sports leagues. And it's like, of course they're going to win. It's the biggest markets. You need the most interest. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine if the Dodgers didn't get Shohei Ohtani? Like, imagine if they sucked. Imagine if the Dodgers were literally like the Sacramento Kings for 20 years.
Did you see how his contract is supposed to be given to him, like how the payouts are.
Yeah, the $2 million for 10 years.
That's
and 68 after
ridiculous.
that.
That is ridiculous.
It's smart.
They're gonna give him $68 million for 10 years.
It's really
straight, though.
smart.
Like they're not gonna give him 680 at once. It said.
He trains nonstop for 10 years of baseball. He's not going to really spend a lot of money anyways.
Dude,
you
he
might as
probably
well
makes
have
more
it on
money
the
off
back
of
end.
a commercial. He
Oh,
probably makes so much money off a commercial.
Probably makes so much money in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Like he is the king, I bet. He's
well,
the
that
king.
new guy that just was going to the Yankees right now, that kid that was from Japan, is like unbelievable. He's going to the Yankees now.
I thought he was going to the Dodgers.
Now he's going to the Yankees now.
Damn.
Yeah, they got him.
But I'm just saying, like, if these big, I mean, I guess the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Bears have been terrible. Even the Cubs actually got Chicago, but they still had Jordan. They still managed to have Jordan to win 6 championships, and the Bears won in '85, and they've always been a historic franchise like Green Bay. It's, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Clippers are going to win in my lifetime, and I don't think they will. Maybe San Diego, by the grace of God,
Well,
Justin Herbert somehow gets a super team.
the Clippers aren't winning with James Harden. I'll tell you that. They're not winning nothing with James Harden.
I mean, they can throw. They have an endless amount of money to throw at players, and it doesn't matter the caliber of player they bring on that
just
team.
Bad team.
They never win
They
it.
make bad decisions. Like, dude, if
Or
that
injuries
team,
happen.
Like, what do you think if it was Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Joel Embiid?
Joel would get hurt somehow, and then
Imagine if
then
Jokic.
Steve Ballmer would somehow say something stupid. I don't know.
Imagine if the Nuggets or the Clippers was Jokic, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard.
Jokic.
I couldn't
carries 'cause
imagine
Jokic is the best player in the league.
I know, but I'm saying I couldn't
Kawhi
even
goes
imagine
down.
it.
Paul George plays well, but the bench
Why
sucks.
does Why does Kawhi have to go down?
Because they always have you not watched the last 5 years of Clippers basketball?
But is
At
he
least
down
one
right
of them.
now?
No, not yet.
We're already over a fifth way through the year.
Yeah, 20 games.
Yeah, that's a solid. We're fourth through the year.
Yeah, but if you've watched the
25%.
last 5 years of Clipper basketball, they have always gotten hurt in every year.
Okay, well,
Like every year, there's
a
been an
problem
injury.
would be if he has a season-ending injury. But like if he gets hurt for like 10 games, I mean, yeah, that's bad.
No,
but
like
he's
he
coming
misses
back.
like good chunk of time.
Well,
Like
that
he's
wouldn't
missed
be
50%
good.
of the games
That
he's
wouldn't
been
be
on
good,
as a
but-
Clipper.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Paul George has missed like 40% of the time.
Yeah, I know. A lot of those big guys do though.
They're wings.
Except LeBron.
They're wings.
I know, but
They're
except
6'7".
No, but I feel like every other night I look on who's playing and who's not playing. Like I'll look if I want to maybe bet on a game,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like there's a good like Kyrie Irving didn't play tonight, and the Mavericks still mauled whoever they were playing.
Who they play? It's probably like I don't know. Luka went off though.
They played. I can't remember. The Rockets played the Spurs. I think they might have played the Pelicans. Maybe the
know.
Pelicans. Or no, the Pelicans might have played the Timberwolves. I forget who Dallas played.
But here, this is what I'm going to say about this too. The Timberwolves are first in the Western Conference.
Anthony Edwards is hurt. Getting
I
back
would-
at that too.
I would probably put if I had $1 million to gamble right now, I would put $1 million that the Wolves don't get to the NBA Finals.
I don't know if you can make that bet.
If it was possible, I would make it. There's no way they're going to bring a championship team. They're not going to have the finals
do they
coverage
have?
in Minnesota.
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert,
Karl
Anthony
Towns.
Towns, Mike
Yeah.
Conley,
Anthony Edwards. Yeah,
Anthony
they're all right.
Edwards,
They're pretty good.
Najee Reed. Like, yeah, they got guys. Like,
Anthony
they're pretty
Edwards
good.
is starting to come into himself a lot now. It's starting to be one of the best players in the league, you'd say.
All right, Jackson. Give me a real conspiracy theory that you actually want
But
to
what do you
talk
think
about.
of- okay,
Other than
but
Tower 7. I
what do
want
you
you to
think-
just say something like, give me a good one.
Okay, but
Give me
what do
something
you,
I can think about.
What do you think about? You think Anthony Edwards is a top player in the league?
Who?
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, he's top 15.
No, but like, dude, you think he's starting to become like, dude, he drops like 30 almost every night.
No, yeah, he's a dog, but there's also 10 guys who average over 30. The points are all saturated. It's bullshit.
Yeah, on a team like
Way
that.
more possessions. Okay, give me a conspiracy theory.
Dude, I tried to give you one. That was one that I think is crazy, but that's more of the government lying to
All right.
us more than a
I want
conspiracy.
to ask you, do you believe in ghosts?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say.
What do you mean? Okay, well, give me what you would say.
Like, I think a lot of times people think shit's happening that's not really happening.
Like, you're saying it's all in their head.
Like, sometimes people there's some type of people that'll see a like curtain blow in the wind and think that's a ghost. There's certain people like that. But then there's people like me who you'd literally have to be chasing me, like some floating person chasing me to believe in a ghost.
But, like, what about, like, objects being thrown around the house?
I've never seen real shit like that.
No,
Like,
but
I've
you
never,
don't think that's happened? Like, you think that's fake, or do you think it actually occurred?
I don't know anybody. Like, I've never had a first-hand account of somebody I trust That's happened too.
All right, what's your take on The Conjuring? Because it's kind of like a true story.
Well, what do you think about ghosts? You think they're real?
Absolutely.
John Paul, you think they're real? Ghosts?
Shout out cameraman Ron here.
Oh,
joining
yeah.
in. Thank you for coming on.
I didn't say that. Yeah,
58.
we've got a cameraman
Yeah,
tonight,
hey,
John Paul.
Ron, what do you think about ghosts? Do you think they're real?
I wouldn't say ghosts. I say more like spirits.
Spirits?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ghosts are. Yeah.
So
ghosts
that's
are
the
real.
same thing. Because now this is a whole different thing.
Spirit and ghost can be the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interchangeable.
It's the same shit. Yeah, I'm just trying to mess with you.
I mean, if you're not religious, how can you not believe that?
Huh?
If you are religious, how can you not believe that?
What? Because God's a ghost?
No, that there's good spirits like angels and such. And
Well, I'm not saying
there's
it
an
like
opposite.
that. I'm not saying.
Well,
it
I'm
like
thinking
that.
negative ghosts. Like,
I'm talking about things that like fucking
like
happen.
Casper the
Like,
Friendly
okay,
Ghost.
is a demon a ghost?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I believe
Like
in
a
ghosts.
spirit outside this realm.
I guess
that
yeah.
most
Now
people
when you
can't
put it like
see,
that, yeah, I
but
believe
you
in
get
ghosts.
haunted, you can see them.
Yes, I can believe in like exorcisms and shit. I think that's real.
So, what do you think I was talking about when I said ghost?
Dude, like people who are in New Orleans and say, "Oh my God, my fucking toilet flushed in the middle of the night in my hotel room."
Oh, like okay, like you can never see the ghost, but they're doing like stuff.
Like something's
out.
happening. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
I
you
thought
can't
meant
see
like
'em.
that. Yeah.
I
Like-
bet that's real too. I bet there's
I
some
don't
weird
know.
buildings like that, like where they do like some weird.
Yeah, that's what always
sacrifice.
happens. They always say it's some building that's haunted. That's
Like,
how
or
it
a
always
hotel.
is.
It's like a sane asylum.
So, but you were talking about like demons and shit.
Yeah.
Well, then yes, I do believe in them. I guess.
God, that's a trip. So like, you know what's weird about that thought is like, you can believe that and then also live in the same community as someone who doesn't believe in demons or doesn't believe in like an actual like spirit. They only believe what they can see, right?
That's the beauty of America.
No,
baby.
but no, hold on. But
we
like,
live in the greatest country of the
no,
world.
but then like think about this though. Think about this. Because this happens everywhere, by the way. You live your life, your whole worldview or your life perspective about everything is so altered based off that one fact that there's actually something beyond this earth and something that there's nothing that controls anything. Like I kind of just see as it is, right? Like it's weird.
You're talking about God?
No, I'm talking, yeah, like if you believe there's demons, you obviously believe there's something good.
Yeah.
And if there's someone who doesn't believe there's demon, then they don't believe there's anything, then their worldview based on that one question alone is going to be like tell you like, okay, they must see this world so much differently. Because I mean, think about like dualism. Think about like all the different perspectives on life. Think about every topic. Think about any like cultural event. Like everyone looks through like a lens, a certain lens, and it's different for each one, but a lot different when you don't believe that there's a ghost demon and there are ghost demon. Because what does that mean? I mean, that's just like it's such a crazy like different way to like parse through like how someone sees the world based off that one question.
Dude, there's a lot. Yeah, I get what you're coming at, but like,
it's just like
but there's also
how can you come to agreement on like a certain like you're trying to find your own peace and that same person's trying to find their own peace? How do you find an actual ground where both people are happy? That's
dude.
crazy.
That's what I was just gonna get at because
insane.
there's one person. There'll be two people. Say me and you believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts, but then we do both believe that LeBron's the best player. So there is something that like we can.
No, but it's like something that changes your life decisions.
Oh, well, okay, that's
You know
crazy
what I mean?
that
Like
you're
the
getting
way you
at
see
this.
the world and you perceive it.
You know
and
what I
such.
heard? I heard something. You might have heard this too. It was like if you right when you were born, like the second you were born, somebody put a watch on your wrist and a watch on your mom's wrist, and it never like ran. It ran on this exact same time on both watches.
The time
In
would be
30
different.
years, like your time would be slightly different than hers because you go through time differently. Like the
Yeah.
terrain you pass, the way you travel is different, and the time will be slightly fractionally probably different. Like, but it's still different.
Do you think maybe the watches maybe just like kind
No,
of like
if
a
they
little
did,
off?
we're saying if they were perfect, it would still be slightly off.
Oh, really? Like that's a fact.
It's not a fact. It's just a theory.
It's just a theory, okay. But the
Like,
theory is
'cause
a
you-
serious thing in science.
You go through time differently. Like I don't know. I don't know if I believe it.
No, I mean,
I mean, you could. I could see it. Though.
I know it's pretty obvious because based off like how like sound travels and how you like see something.
Yeah,
like
but
an
not
event.
it's time.
Like if you look out into space, it was like that was a picture. You're looking at a picture of space a long time ago because of how fast and like how big the universe is and how fast light travels.
You know, actually, I don't believe that because
Because you look at something that's 14 billion or whatever, 13
Oh, no, I
million
know
light
about
years
that,
away,
yeah.
and you look back at it, and it's like, okay, that was it 13 million years ago. That's what it
No,
looked
yeah.
like 13 million years ago. 'cause
Yeah.
It's taking that
No,
long
but
to
I'm
travel.
talking about like now that I think about it, like if me and you both had an iPhone from 2005 and it's almost 20 years later now, they're still going to say the same time. But that might
No, but like a hand
that's
watch.
but that's a perfect clock. I'm talking about a perfect watch.
Yeah, it wouldn't change.
Yeah, it wouldn't change. So I guess.
But maybe it's all under one software and it's all
That's what I was just
connected,
thinking.
so
Like
it's
it just has to go. Yeah.
No, but that would still bullshit.
still a
'cause if
perfect watch.
someone can live their life differently than another person, and it would be the same time.
Yeah, I guess.
So that. But still, dude, it's crazy.
It's just a weird thing to think about.
It's a crazy thing to like to find peace, like to actually find like neutrality, like to actually find like no wars. Like you have to find to an agreement on both parties, and most likely both parties perceive the world differently based on a couple questions that you can ask them that they would differentiate. Like it's a binary question, and you can ask them something, and they can go yes or no, and both sides go a different way. Their whole worldview changes, and it's hard to find peace on both sides. So it's like you have to compromise, but it's like you can never find real peace, and that's the whole irony of it. Like people are chasing for like world peace and stuff, but it's not possible unless it's under one thing.
Like a new world order.
Yeah, like you can't have multiple countries. There's no
Like a new
world
world
peace
order.
without that.
Like a new world order.
Well, no,
Shout out Alex
because
Jones.
it wouldn't be world peace. It would just be draconian rule.
Yeah.
It would be complete havoc. It'd be complete chaos. Or no, it would be order, but it would be forced order.
All right. Well, what do you think?
So I mean, I don't know what you can do if you're trying to sustain like individual sovereign nations. How do you keep neighboring countries from like agreeing on terms? Like, how do you find peace without the other party screwing you? It's like that will never happen. It will never happen.
Dude, it's working all right now.
It's like what do you mean it's working all right?
What countries are mad at each other?
I mean, have you not?
Well, I guess yeah.
I feel like everyone knows what's going on.
No,
right
I
now.
get that, but like I'm saying, like countries like in Europe are all fine. Like it's not every country. It's like not every. You're making it. The way you're explaining.
No,
is
but
making,
like
everybody's like that.
Yeah, but like think about like think about when people are like, I want world peace.
Yeah, those are weirdos.
So
you see
okay,
weirdos
it's not
holding
possi-
up
it's
signs.
not possible.
Yeah.
But if it was possible, it's not. Because it's like the reason it's not because people perceive the world so much differently than other people.
Yeah.
So much differently. But I guess the only common ground you can find are like a universal set of laws, a universal set of truths that you can follow down a line of, and without without
Karl
stepping
Marx.
over.
Okay, Karl Marx.
What?
I'm just messing with you.
No, without like stepping
sounds
over
like
to opinion,
communism.
without being like having a subjective opinion.
Yeah, that
about it.
sounds like you want communiism.
What are you
You're
talking
t-
about? I have
dude,
not talked about class.
Dude, you're saying I'm not
I
saying
haven't
that.
talked about
I'm
economics.
saying like you want like
no, I'm
things
saying
suppressed, and you want everybody
I'm
to
saying the
think
only
same
way
thing.
to build on anything is you have to walk a fine line of like absolute truths that both parties find evident, self-evident, and then like, okay, well that's true. Oh wait, that was an opinion. Like you say something that's a little opinionated, then they could be like, wait, based off like how I see the world, that's completely off, and I don't like that anymore. So now I'm not going to work a peace deal with you. I'm not going to try and like actually come to an agreement on matters. So I don't know. It's weird. It's dualism, and it's kind of, I don't know. Do you believe in determinism, predeterminism?
No.
You believe people change, like they can make their own destiny.
Yeah.
Like there's not a story.
But I'm not a
already written.
Calvinist.
Yeah. But there's not a story already written for you.
No. You think there is? Like you think you're born and everything that's gonna happen just has to happen the exact way it happened?
No, I don't believe that. But I do think if you believe in the Bible, or like I feel like in any like religion, there's always an end to it. There's always an end. Like it's predetermined that the world will end.
Well,
So why does not everything in the
you know why?
in the
Because
middle?
that's the one thing that there's two things that makes everybody the same. You're born and you die.
But there will be an Armageddon. That is a determined thing.
Okay,
That
but
is
that's
absolutely
different. Yeah, but that's I know what you're saying.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it will happen. That is determined.
Because that's
There's
world-
nothing you
They
can
know
do
the
to change
world's
it.
going to end one day.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do
Yeah.
to change it. So
Okay,
like,
that's what's predetermined. Those are like the 3 things that are known.
yeah, but then
I guess
why?
people know that up
No,
is
but, like,
down,
think about,
up
like-
is up, and down is down.
No, but like think about
But,
think about the Book of Revelations.
yeah, I get it.
Like there's a set of things that are going
but
to
that's
take place
different
at the end of
than-
time.
That's different than what you were talking about being predetermined.
Well,
like-
no, that's already set. It's going to happen. It's going to fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah, but you were meaning like you think like a Calvinist would, like what's gonna happen to you in your life's gonna happen to you.
Well, why not? Why can it all be tied together? Why can't it be tied all together?
Dude, it's just not like because
Maybe
everybody
it's the illusion of free will.
everybody lives through. I mean,
Like you have no idea what you're even doing. You're just doing it, right?
no.
You blink because you're blinking.
People make life-changing decisions sometimes, dude, and there's always one
But
way.
maybe
or
it was
another
always
way.
set like that. It was always going to happen in that way.
Well, okay, you can believe that. I just don't believe that.
No, I don't believe it. I'm just entertaining it. Can I
Well,
play
it's
devil's
just
advocate
not,
on things?
It's just not. It's just I don't see it's like that at all, and it's
I believe you control your destiny.
Yeah.
100%. But it is interesting that there was a beginning, and then there's a determined end at the end of it. So it means
I
we're
don't
going to get up to something. We're leading up to something, right?
to die.
I mean, that's why everyone, like, I feel like you can look at any, like any part of time, any sequence of time you can go on. Like, you can go to the 1640s, and
There's
someone,
2 things that
there's
are
always
sure.
going to be someone saying the world's going to end. The world's always going to end. Everyone always says the
we've-
world's
dude,
always
we've
ending.
seen people like that.
You go anywhere.
Yeah, but there's 2 things that are the same from the 1640s. Everybody was born and everybody dies. That's like I think why it's such a known thing.
That the world's going to end?
No, that everybody's born and everybody dies. Like being dying is predetermined.
Yeah, death and taxes.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect way to put it. I think that's it's not like thinking the world's predetermined to end's a bit different than thinking you're predetermined to die, like, or that is predetermined or whatever you're
So
trying to get
if
at.
tax is determined,
Oh my god.
hold on.
You go live in a different
I know,
country.
because we're just touching topics here. If tax is determined, why does there have to be a tax if everyone could just like participate in society? Because it's not possible. It's not possible. You have to have some enforcement of law and order, some governmental institution to like build up society. You have to force people to pay taxes.
Well,
To
yeah,
get
and
any
it keeps-
well-running society, you have to
Yeah.
force people. So there has to be a certain amount of force that's good.
But I think a lot of people are also kind of okay with paying some taxes. Everybody thinks they pay too much, but like,
Yeah.
dude, they protect our. We never have anybody. We don't have to worry about going to war on our own land ever.
But if it was an option to pay taxes or not to pay taxes, would you not pay taxes?
Yeah, obviously, but
Well,
like,
yeah, you have to
I think
force
it's
people to pay taxes.
Yeah, it's like a necessary. I don't think I wouldn't riot over it.
What do you mean you wouldn't like have a revolution over it?
Yeah, no.
Well, it would have to be ridiculous, or it would have to be like they're just
Dude,
the people are being
income
treated
tax
so
has
bad.
been 80% before.
What year or
I
what
think
era?
with Ronald Reagan, maybe
Income tax was?
something really crazy high.
No, I thought they lowered taxes with Reagan.
Let me see.
Reaganomics. They let the wealthy get more wealthy, and it will trickle down to the middle class and lower class. I don't know.
What year was Reagan?
Reagan was 81 to 89. Old Ronnie Ron. Shout out Ron Paul for being the cameraman in this wonderful podcast.
The top marginal tax rate on an individual income
You got it here?
from 70 to 50. So he did lower it from 70 to 50%.
Yeah.
For the top income.
So from
Yeah.
the Carter
So
administration,
it was before
you go to
that. So that's what it was. It wasn't. So Reagan. It's just because it came in under Reagan and he changed it.
Yeah.
But still, 50's high. But lowering it from
What is it
70 to
now?
50
Is it like in the 17, like 17, 18%?
for the highest person?
No, like today. Like what is it today? Like
Federal's
it's lower
like
to like 17.
35.
Today it's 35
for the highest bracket. Yeah.
for state income tax?
State is like 20 or
Huh.
something, or maybe a little less.
It's got to be less than 20. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
You're
it might
paying
be a little, but you get a lot of it back in your tax returns, like a ton of it. Of your like, you get almost all your state income tax back. I think I'm not
No,
sure.
but like okay. So you have to force people to participate in things. So how can you participate in other countries agreeing with the course of action that you want to take? There's always bickering. There's always like
yeah,
a
when you're
pecking
not
order at the
America,
top.
when you're not America.
But even the Americans have problems. Americans lose wars. We've lost wars.
Yeah, but we call the shots when we go over there. It's like,
No, we
this is
don't
what's going to
control
happen.
everything. That's the thing, though. We don't control everything. We play a big role in
You
the...
think the Czech Republic is saying anything to us when we make a call?
No, but I think if we actually wanted to go, we couldn't invade the Czech Republic.
I'm not. We wouldn't. Why would we?
So what are we trying to change? Like, I guess we can, like...
That's big
you can
tourism
put tariffs
spot.
on them, but, like, what happens if they start aligning with other countries around them? What happens if they start joining together, like, coalitions to get the United States?
Then we. Go
You know what
to
I mean? Like,
war.
we're not omnipotent in the system. Like, we are a big part of the system, but we don't run the entire system.
Dude, I don't care what happens. They're never gonna come to America. Every person owns a goddamn gun.
I wouldn't say never on anything, Jackson. I
Well,
would never say
they'll have a
never.
tough time
There would have to be a lot of mistakes that
Yeah.
that happen,
that are already happening.
or a lot of shrewd moves by the opposing side, whoever would be invading.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I just
that's right.
I don't know. It's just peace is almost impossible. There's temporary peace. There's periods where there's peace because everyone's benefiting from this one thing. But once that well dries up, a new problem occurs. A new
People will
that
find something
it's-
to make a
there
problem.
must always be a problem. There's no sustaining peace. It's not possible. It's not possible. There's always force required to get anything done. It just doesn't just happen. It just doesn't happen. So this is where the whole destiny thing, I do believe in destiny. I do believe you can make things happen on your own. It's not determined. You can have people will themselves to get places. Why not? Why can't countries do that? It's the same premise. A country is a person. You think
America will its way
you
to
think
where
of
it is
empires, you
today.
think of one guy running the empire. It's a person. It's a whole body. That's what the church is. That's what the
Alright.
church is. We're one body.
All right, what do you think about this? I want to know what you think about this. Like, what's your honest stance of what's going on with UFOs?
You know what?
Who do you think's flying them, first of all?
I sigh.
The government or aliens?
I sigh away from believing that there's aliens.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't believe there's aliens. I think
Neither
it's
do I.
probably just some government project they're working on, some secret technology. I mean, they had Oculus headsets in the 1950s. So what do you think they're working on now in 2023?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they got top
Exactly.
shit going on.
You know another thing? Okay, sorry to get back to Tower 7 real quick, but
Great. Let's fucking circle back to Tower 7. This is
No.
great. Let's put a bow on it.
dude, well, I heard something else from Eddie Bravo that he said it could have been a direct energy weapon. Like
A direct energy weapon just to
like,
knock a building down through wavelengths?
to make it, I don't know how it worked, but
Yeah.
a direct energy weapon to make Tower 7 collapse into its base.
But
What?
why though?
But
why
that's
though?
what getting at, when we're talking about what they're working on now, they could have been working on a direct energy weapon.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not saying that happened.
But why
I
don't we do that now? If they have the technology, we sure as hell have the technology.
No, I'm saying we could have done it. Somebody could have.
Oh,
done
you're
it.
saying it was from
It could have been
within.
anybody. It could have been.
So this is
anybody.
what you're getting at. It was a inside job.
Dude, by a direct energy weapon by the U.S. government. That's most likely what the theory gets into.
Because some people say why a plane wouldn't just knock down the towers like
Yeah,
that.
but I don't believe that.
And the way it collapsed, it looked like a controlled demolition, just like
Tower
7.
7.
That's what I thought you were getting at.
No, Tower 2.
Because they wanted to see if they both if that was going
Tower
to work
2
like
fell
that.
into its base just because there's too much weight at the top and it just all fell down.
From the plane?
Yeah, like Tower 2 didn't collapse into its base. It
I
collapsed
thought they
from
both did.
No, it collapsed from the top and came down.
No, I know
Tower
it
7
collapsed all the way from the top because that's where
Tower-
the plane hit.
Yeah, but Tower 7 just fully fell fucking to the ground, just the whole thing
Like
from the bottom.
disintegrated.
It came from the bottom.
Oh, I see. And there was gasoline maybe in the basement or something.
They tried to say there's a fire in the basement, but somebody probably had every beam, supporting beam, wrapped with.
Do you know what was?
bombs
Do you know
and
what the
went it
purpose
off.
of Tower 7 was? What was Tower 7?
I think it might have been a government building.
Was it actually?
Maybe, or
Are
it
you
might have
just
just been
saying
an
that?
office building. No, because there's a.
Hey, can you check real quick if we're even doing the audio?
Oh yeah, we're good. It's
we're,
good.
we're actually
yeah.
good. Okay, cool.
No,
Cool.
Tower 7. I'm saying it might have been a government building because I know one of those buildings around the towers was a government building.
Yeah.
But it could have also just been a normal office building. I'm 50-50 on that. I actually think it might have just been an office building.
Crazy.
But the crazy thing is
Their
nobody
worldview, the way they saw the world,
back
they
then,
felt it just to do that.
Well, did you see the thing that Trump said to Jeb Bush in 2016 about?
No, what part?
about-
What part did he say
yeah,
to
it's
Jeb
true.
Bush?
But he said like something like your Jeb Bush's brother's George Bush, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, your brother shouldn't have invaded Iraq or said something for him to answer it, and he didn't. And like 7 days later, he came out saying, yeah, we shouldn't have invaded Iraq. We know it was a bad problem. Like, we shouldn't have done that. And like that's what we get at, like the way the people's mindset was back then. Like if they would have done something like 9/11,
Yeah.
like they wanted something so bad to go invade Iraq.
Where you have to enforce more security.
Yeah, and that's where we get at from last podcast.
I forgot to mention that part too about preemptive war too, like suspecting there's a problem like arising, so you just take action, you squash the bug immediately.
Did you read that?
What?
Did you see that letter to America thing by Bin Laden that was all over like clips and shit?
No, what did it say?
I didn't read it because I couldn't find it, but like a bunch of people were reposting on like TikTok and all this stuff, like making clips like, wow, after reading the letter to America, I really see where Bin Laden's coming from and all this shit.
Doesn't Osama bin Laden, didn't he like work?
Like he basically
wasn't he in U.S. intelligence?
Yeah,
like,
I think so. No, he was trained when he was with them when Russia invaded Afghanistan. We trained him like in the Mujahideen.
Oh, to defend themselves against the Soviets.
Yeah, but so, what was I saying before that about Osama?
About his letter.
Yeah. People
And people
like,
agreeing with
the
it?
one thing. Yeah, and like the one thing I remembered from it was like that he was basically just saying, since you guys voted for your president, like you citizens voted for your president, we can kill you. Like we will kill you just because you voted for him, put them in office and put them in power. Like you're responsible for that.
And here's the other thing.
And people were agreeing with it.
If your predisposition is,
if you're agreeing with Bin Laden,
if you're basically like, if you're not in what I believe in and you go against that, you're an enemy to me. How do you? That's their predisposition.
You Christians, I want to kill you Christians.
No, if anybody, like if you don't follow,
you Westerners,
if anybody who doesn't follow it, like, how do you negotiate with someone with that worldview so extreme?
or the people, or you're talking about Bin Laden, or you're talking about the people that are reposting it.
I'm just talking about like how do you
it.
Negotiate with someone with that stance?
You got to be
like how
top
you have
CIA
to
guy.
enforce things. Like you can't just like
you give them money.
You just give them money.
Yeah, that's usually how it works over there.
You just give that's how the U.S. should just like, thank you, here you go, here's money.
Yeah, dude. They used to. I've heard stories like they would just have a room like with pallets full of cash just to pay stuff out.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like they were just
like pallets of cash in a room at a U.S. base.
Oh, to like the Taliban?
To pay anybody. No, not the Taliban. But
to like places in the
like
Middle East,
local
countries.
like local warlords that hate the Taliban or some shit.
Oh, like they're funding. Yeah, they're
yeah,
funding them to go against.
Yeah,
them, like they're giving them arms.
Yeah, they're just paying people like people would always like make shit up. I guess like citizens would write a problem that happened with a soldier and turn it in, and they would just give them some money and just make it go away, like $50 or whatever.
It's what I don't know. Maybe that's a thing that's just so so revealing as you get older, is realizing is you can't find real peace with pretty much anybody you're trying to negotiate with, or like there's always going to be a different viewpoint of what you're trying to do, or like whatever you're trying to like talk about. You're never going to see it their way and they're never going to see it your way. Almost like that's why Twitter's such a joke when people are just like fighting with each other on Twitter. Like you're never going to convince the other side that they're wrong. Right? Like that's impossible. Like no one's going to be like, "Oh, well, maybe he does make a good point" on the spot and be like, "You know what? You are right" on a video. But it's like that never happens anyways. It doesn't happen in the real world anyways. Right? That's why there's feuds, that's why there's conflicts. There's upheavals that are caused by this one fact of that I view the world differently, you view the world differently, and we're disagreeing on something that happened within this one world. We're seeing two different realities in one physical place. Like what the like it's impossible.
Hear this out.
It's almost impossible. It's just a bunch of randomness going along with like worldviews and just like arguments and just situations and environments. It's like I don't know. It's just so random.
All right,
I mean, it's random because everyone sees the world differently.
All right, we'll get this. So back to like the things we were talking about with weapons and stuff being developed and UFOs being developed that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to something talking about in China, like. And this is the size of the country Spain. Like this, they say this area is like the size of the country Spain in China, and the whole entire thing is like a weather modification plant, the size of Spain.
Oh yeah, that's 100%
Oh,
true.
Think of how big Spain is.
Yeah, no, I know how big
A
Spain is.
weather
counting
modification
Portugal?
plant. No. But basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably in my head I am, yeah.
Okay.
But dude, just in like weather modification, like imagine if that's true. If they can actually fuck with the weather over there.
Is that a bad thing?
Because
though?
think about butterfly effect. Think about it. You fuck with the weather on one side of the earth, it's not going to create some shit on the other side of the earth.
Yeah, like the environment.
It's probably going to mess something up.
It's gonna
It could
mess
mess
with
the
the
tides
animals.
up. It could mess everything.
Huh.
And I'm not talking about just cloud seeding like they do in the UAE and stuff and Middle East. Like that's fine. That's not that bad.
Maybe there's like an equilibrium that they can find. Like if they do some weather modification over there, they have to like
taking
they
away
have
clouds.
to counter that somewhere else with a certain weather
Yeah,
change.
that's exactly what that's exactly
an
what I
equilibrium.
heard. Yeah, like if something's happening over here, something is not happening over here.
Yeah,
or
like you have to
whatever.
modify two different
Like they could
pinpoints.
basically break up tropical storms and stuff like that. Think
So
of
if
that.
they actually are able to like cue in on that and actually like master that, is that a bad thing?
probably,
Well, but
It
there
probably
there wouldn't be
is.
any more droughts.
why would you?
Why would you
mess-
want droughts?
why
Why
would
would you want
But
famine?
why? I'm not. That might not be the one reason they're not. I don't think they're making it just to make rain. I
Yeah,
think
but
there's-
it definitely
some of those
could be
places
used like
get
that.
so much rain, Joseph, that they don't need more rain.
No, but like the Central Valley, for example, we're in a drought. Imagine if we could modify the weather for it to rain.
We're not in that bad of a drought anymore, dude. We got
But
so
we-
much
we
rain.
were.
Yeah, but we got so much rain last year.
I don't know. It's some crazy. I think we still are technically in. the
Well, we
drought.
probably
It takes a
no,
lot-
yeah,
a lot of
technically
rain.
from over the last 20 years, but
Yeah.
the amount of rain we got last year was like insane compared to
No, yeah, it was. Yeah, for sure.
like
for
even
sure.
for a normal year. Yeah, but like it's because they measure it by like the groundwater level.
But how
like if you're in a
archaic?
drought.
How archaic is that? Is that we're still doing the same thing our ancestors did when they first discovered farming? Was praying to the sky, basically pleading to rain. Like we need it to rain, please, please rain. Like that's the same thing we share with our ancestors.
It's a passed down thing.
It's
man.
the same thing. Like we're all begging the weather to be a certain thing. Like, oh, I hope it's 75 and sunny today when I go to the beach.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
We're all
interesting.
pleading for the weather. What
Yeah.
happens if we could change the weather? What happens if we can optimize it to be the
I
perfect
think-
weather, the perfect spot, the perfect time?
I think of it like this: the world's been around for 14 billion years, and nobody's ever messed with the weather. Don't mess with
No,
it now.
the universe, where it's 4.6.
Oh, the Earth. Okay, yeah, you're right. Don't mess with it now. Just it's fine. Everything's been fine. Maybe,
yeah, but we've only been around for like a small percentage.
Oh yeah,
of
we're
that.
a blink of an eye compared to the.
Yeah, we've
time
only been
that
around for
Earth,
I think
200,000 years, maybe.
our Homo sapien
200,000 years.
200,000 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe even 50,000.
That's
years.
crazy to think about. Get into though, to like civilizations. Like they say, or archaeologists say, like the oldest civilization is like ancient Samaria, like 6,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But dude, there's dozens of things that I've heard about that it could very well, like human civilizations could be as old as 20,000 years, but it's definitely for sure that it's at least 10 to 12,000 years old. They found somewhere called Göbekli Tepe or
Mhm.
something like that. Have you heard of that?
Göbekli
Tepe,
Tepe.
something like that.
I've never heard of it.
Okay, well, that Randall Carlson guy talked about it. And,
Okay, who's Randall Carlson?
and the other guy, what's the other guy's name? Graham Hancock.
Graham Hancock. Who
They're-
are these guys?
They're like historians, guys who look deeper into things than normal. Like archaeologists will just say our oldest civilizations are like 6,000 years old, but they'll look deeper into it and they see these places that are well over 10,000 years old and they're advanced civilizations.
Yeah. So what do you think happened? Do you think there was like some?
Yeah, they think there's a mass extinction about 10,000 years ago.
Was it caused by humans? You think, or was it caused by like natural events?
It's hard to say. It could have. When was the Ice Age?
I think it ended 12,000 years ago.
So this is after the Ice Age. Then this is 2,000 years after the Ice Age.
Okay.
So there's this advanced civilization that just gets wiped, and they say that pyramids could be well into 10,000 years old. They say the Great Sphinx of Giza is like 12,000 years old.
Okay. What happens if I told you if 95% of scientists believe the opposite of what you're saying?
I'd say they don't. Somebody's telling them like that's
yeah,
a
but
narrative.
How, like why?
They-
It's like they say, we say. Like I don't know how
because
how
there's
you
actually
look at
proof
more
on it.
people agreeing with it.
There's proof because like that's the narrative in that world.
What's the narrative though? Why does it matter?
I don't know why. I have no idea.
All scientists are trying to find is truth. True science is trying to find truth.
So I don't know why.
So if
they
wanna
deny
hedge their
this.
bets on
I don't
saying
know why they
4,600
deny
years.
this. I don't
It's
know
interesting. I mean,
yeah,
is there
but
enough
Graham
evidence?
Hancock knows why they deny it. Like,
But
I
why
don't-
is it just Graham?
We don't have Graham and Randall on here.
No, but why is Graham the only one? Like, why is it
'Cause-
just those two? Aren't they like?
well, there's more
aren't they
people that I don't
ostracized
know
from the
about.
science community
Yeah,
because
because
of this?
they say this. Yes.
So like, why
That's
are they
funny
the
that
only?
you say that.
Why are they the only ones saying it? And
They're not the
everyone else-
only ones. It's just okay. You're talking about 95% of the archaeology.
Yeah, let's look at 100 people. 2 of them are Graham Hancock and
No,
Randall Carlson.
probably more than that now.
It's a majority
close-
of
yeah,
scientists
probably
would say they're
closer
wrong,
to,
or
like,
probably bizarre.
80 of them and to 20 maybe. Because dude, now it's
Why do you
starting-
think it matters? You said narrative. You pick,
because
like,
they see water erosion on like the Great Sphinx of Giza, and it's there hasn't been water like rain erosion there in
6,000 years.
even more than that. Like there hasn't. It's in the desert.
Yeah.
There hasn't been rain there for like 12,000 years.
What about? Did they
Like
mention?
they say the Giza is older than that one civilization I was talking about. Like the Sphinx could have been made 12,000 years ago before the Ice
Wait,
Age.
who'd you say was the first? It wasn't the Mesopotamians. What'd you say? It was someone else.
The Mesopotamians,
Or the
Sumerians.
Sumerians. Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first civilization. So you're saying the Sphinx was there before the Sumerians.
Yeah,
So it was like some past advanced civilization
that
built
got wiped
it,
off the face of the earth, and all the technology got
and
lost.
all the new humans forgot the technology.
They're
of how to
saying
do
that
it.
like ancient Egypt, when that was around,
Yeah.
like the pharaohs, that the pyramids could have been built even before the pharaohs.
Was I was gonna be a fucking ass. I was gonna say was Neptune around?
No,
Was Neptune telling him what to do?
no,
Was
but like that. How do you think?
Zeus?
That's another thing. Like we don't know how the pyramids were built. That's another lost technology. Like what happened to that technology?
I don't know. We lost technology to go to the moon. I guess.
We never went to the moon.
I
But
think we went to the
can
moon.
get back to that.
We definitely went to the moon.
Okay, but
We have supercomputers. Like we went to the moon.
okay, but
We're talking about going to Mars. We went to the moon. Like you don't just jump the moon mission if you didn't go and say we're just gonna go straight to Mars. You obviously went to the moon,
All right,
but you didn't go to the moon in 1969. That's a different one.
I don't know.
Okay.
But the like back to the civilization thing. The like they see rain erosion on these things, and that's like why. I like you asked a good question. Like I don't know why the majority of archaeologists won't
See the
side with
evidence that
this
they're
or like see
seeing.
the evidence and agree with it. Like
Why are they ignoring
there's
it?
a narrative or something. Like I don't know what it is. I've never honestly heard what it is.
I think if you had different like groups of scientists coming out and all saying 3 different truths to themselves, saying that we found the truth of the universe, that this is what it is, and it's 3 different opinions on one thing, then there's no like continuity.
But to be honest,
Continuity.
I bet you Graham Hancock and that other guy, like that Graham Hancock guy, kind of milk shit too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's selling books. He's got a Netflix series.
Yeah,
the guy's
he's
making
selling
money from being
books.
entertaining. It's like Alex
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah, not like Alex Jones, but
They're entertainers.
he's selling books.
They're
you're right.
entertainers. They're storytellers. They like to, they can like.
But I do think that there's civilization older than 6,000 years. Like I do believe that there's a civilization older than 6,000
Yeah,
years.
didn't we
old.
learn how to farm 10,000 years or 8,000 years ago?
Exactly, but they're saying advanced civilizations like city.
Okay, but like, how do you think that if a advanced civilization goes extinct, pretty much, or like you just all the technology gets lost, all the information, all the data that they gathered got lost, and then those few humans that survived the impact or the natural disaster, the human-caused disaster, how did those group of people? How were they able to figure out everything so fast if they lost everything? Like, think about think about you and me, we're in a room.
Populating the Earth.
Yeah, no, just think about this. Okay, we live forever. We live forever, but we have to figure out how to get the same technology that we have today back. How long would that take us? You and me.
You and me,
Yeah, we're like we lost all the technology,
and we get to
lost
live
everything how to
forever.
make it.
We
don't
get to
know how
live
do anything.
forever. We get to live forever.
Yeah, we live forever. How long would it take for us to figure everything out to make it as it is, or the same technology?
Probably not. I wouldn't think as
You think
long.
10,000 years?
I think less than what you're thinking. Way less than what you're thinking now.
1,000 years.
Less.
200 years.
Maybe even less.
Jackson, I don't.
That's 2 lifetimes. That's 3
Jackson,
lifetimes.
I don't think Einstein can figure out all the reasons how to build like.
But it's
Think about all the different things.
Joseph. Think of these people, dude. Like they weren't. We think of them as not advanced, but they could have very well been very advanced. But like, we can go out and live probably how they lived, how we'd imagine they lived, and just figure shit out probably that we never even knew. You don't even know how to make a fucking fire. Like,
No, I know. How
That's
long
what
would
I'm
it take?
getting
It
at.
would probably take like to get everything back to what it is.
Like
with
those
the,
people
with the
know how to do a lot of
iPhones,
shit.
AC, running cars.
Like
running
you're talking
water.
about like try to figure out how they made the pyramids is what you're getting at.
No, I'm saying how to just make an iPhone. How long would it take for us to make an iPhone, get
Oh.
AC?
You said how to figure out things that were in the past, like that we lost technology.
No, I'm just saying technology, like our
How long
modern
would
day
it make
society.
for
Think about
us
the technology
to
that
make
we
an
developed.
iPhone, like to develop the iPhone.
Yeah, we don't know the blueprint of how to make an iPhone. We're
We
just
could
stranded with no
never.
information.
We could never.
That's my point. It took them almost what? It took them basically what you're saying. It ended 12,000 years ago. It took them 12,000 years to get back to like being an advanced civilization.
Well, think of this.
Or it took 12,000 years to get to the Industrial Revolution.
this.
It took that. It was that fast. That advancement happened that fast.
Think of this. Think of how fast from Jesus, the day Jesus was born, and like the year 0 into now, 2023.
Yeah.
How much technology from then has changed.
Yeah, I know, but like,
But then think of this. From 12,000 years ago to 10,000 years ago, how much technology probably changed. And then those civilizations get wiped out.
yeah, but it's a slow, steady climb, and then once you hit like a certain milestone, you just exponentially.
That's probably what
rise
happened
super
with
fast.
them. That probably has happened.
Yeah, but that took almost 12,000 years to do that.
2,000 years.
But you're saying like
I'm saying this could happen from 12,000 to 10,000, and they got wiped out by something. Very well could have been an asteroid.
I don't know. I kind of don't. I don't agree with that. I don't.
You haven't looked into these cities yet. You haven't seen the
so
technology.
you think Atlantis is real?
I don't think it was Atlantis. I think there was a
Okay,
city
sure. There was a city there that sunk underwater.
in Africa.
I
I
don't
think
know
it was
where
in
it is.
Africa.
I don't know where it is. I
Yeah,
just know
they say-
Atlantis.
Yeah, I think because you can see the floodplains on Google Maps, like in the Sahara Desert. You can see.
Are there like
Water
actual
erosion.
statues underwater where like you can actually see like,
No,
architect
there's
that was
probably
built?
so much sand. I mean, I don't know if they've ever
So
found
that's tough.
anything.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
that's
tough to
tough.
say. No, but there's writings like of Aristotle and all them saying
They talk
there's
about
a great
Atlantis,
city.
yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. I think there was a great city that got flooded.
You know, are they allowed to make? Are they allowed to write stories too?
could
or do
very
they only
well.
talk truth? Can they write a story too? Like we make stories today. Like we talk about like the Avengers and shit. Like we can elaborate stories and make things seem impossible that are in this one story.
Well, dude,
But did it actually happen?
what, like Atlantis?
Yeah, like did we actually have an advanced civilization, or is it just writing or things that people like kind of sculpted to make it like,
Well, how do we make the pyramids?
like you're writing a story?
Why don't we know how we made the pyramids if there wasn't an advanced civilization?
Why do we not? Wait,
Why
what?
do we not know how to make the pyramids? How they made them?
I bet we can make them.
Yeah, with heavy-ish machinery that they didn't have. How did they make them?
I don't know.
First of all, the mathematics behind it, and then
Maybe it was like clay and they had hardened.
No,
like they had the
you
clay,
heard-
they stacked it
you
up.
didn't hear the story about where they got the blocks to make
No,
it.
it's like a
Like,
1,000 miles away.
It's
right?
like a quarry, like 500 miles away.
Well, how long did it take for them to actually complete the pyramids?
Like a lifetime of a
2,000
pharaoh.
years?
No, like probably a pharaoh's lifetime.
To build all the pyramids, that's not
One
true.
of them.
That's
One
not
of
true.
them.
It's got to be like multiple hundred years, at least.
No,
to
because
build them.
pharaohs would want shit built all the time. I think they probably commissioned it, and it probably took like 50 years.
John Paul, can you look up how long it took for the pyramids to be fully completed?
Just one of them.
Well, yeah, okay, just do one of them. The biggest one. Do the biggest one.
Yeah, how long did Pyramid of Giza?
You know, ancient Egypt is really interesting.
It is.
It
Dude,
is really
There's
interesting.
so much to get into on it.
Would you rather be an Egyptian king or a Roman king?
20 to 27 years.
Told you.
27 years to build one pyramid?
Yeah, dude, you're thinking of it way differently, man.
It took them 27 years to build a pyramid.
Yeah, so they walked those big 50-ton blocks of stone 500 miles. Somehow they got that there. Like, that is a technology in itself. Then they built the pyramids. Some people are trying to say they did it with sound now, levitation.
Oh, like like Tesla, like Nikola Tesla. That like that's
I don't
what he was
know.
figuring out.
I guess. I don't know, but they could have done that. I don't know if they did. I'm
you
just
know,
saying
also,
that's a theory.
what about slavery? Like they had slaves, Like,
Jews.
they had
They had
people. I don't,
Jewish
it probably was a
slaves.
bunch of other
Or the
people
Israelites.
too.
The Israelites.
There's probably like a bunch of other people too, like in all of Egypt's history.
Oh, yeah, they probably owned everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like it was a big empire. Like, I mean, you just have them working hours on end without any breaks, with little sleep, with little food. You don't have to pay them.
Oh, those guys got whipped and shit.
yeah,
That
like
was
I
the
mean, like
worst.
think about it. They're exerting themselves 24 hours.
How
They
f-
are robots.
How cool would it be, though, to go back to ancient Egypt right now? The Nile River.
It'd be cool
It's
to go
all-
right
it's-
now.
it
I don't
looks-
know.
It's all green.
I bet the food sucks.
Oh yeah.
If you go to Egypt, I don't know if they.
2,000 years ago, you don't even have spices probably.
Oh gosh.
Everything's just made
Oh
with
my
how
gosh,
it is.
dude, I got sick almost from eating like a month-old Ritz cracker 2 days
Dude,
ago.
they probably ate like a bunch
I
of
can't even
roots.
imagine eating like some like meat that hasn't been like frozen, or it's been like it's just moldy or something. Like I eat like some
Yeah.
mud pie or some,
Yeah,
some
I don't,
gross
yeah, I don't
shit.
even know if they used salt back then. I couldn't tell you.
You think they had sauce?
Salt or
Sauce,
salt?
like
I don't
sauce.
know. Like, dude, I don't even know if they had like fucking butter.
Yeah, I guess if they don't have spices, they can't really like ground the powder.
Like,
to
I'm
make
not,
something.
I'm not super educated on like this. I don't know when milk was invented or like people started milking cows. Probably at the beginning of
Or when
time.
were cows domesticated? That's
That's a
crazy.
long time ago.
How do you
probably.
domesticate a cow? Like, what were cows before humans? Like,
Just
what were
living.
cows just doing?
Well, think of undomesticated horses, or an undomesticated pig.
Yeah,
like
but
a
like you
wild
gotta
boar.
milk a cow.
Think of this. I want you to think.
You gotta
of
milk
this.
a cow.
You've probably never heard this. I know, but a boar, like a pig, like wild boars in Texas, how they're a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a normal pig, like at your farm, and you let it free, and for it to live on its own,
Yeah.
within 3 to 4 months, it'll start chemically changing in its brain to act like a wild boar. Because you know how wild boars act. They're screaming and running all over the place and just fucking all the time.
Yeah.
That pig that's been domesticated, after like 4 months, its brain chemistry will start changing. It'll start growing tusks. If it's never had tusks its whole life, it'll start growing tusks and
Wow.
acting like a wild boar. Same
They're
with
social
horses.
creatures.
Same with
Social
horses.
creatures.
Like, if you have a horse, that's your horse, and you take care of it and everything, it's a horse. But then wild horses are crazy. Like, some people, like the Native Americans, would get wild horses, and then like it's called breaking a horse to make it so you're able to ride it.
Yeah.
And they go
have to, like,
crazy
submit
at
it.
first. Yeah, you have to you have to break it, and like you wouldn't even be able to do it. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy hard.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
so
what
the
about
hor-
wolves
like-
and dogs?
Well, that happened over tens of thousands of years.
Yeah. I mean, like a wolf, just like a thing that wants.
Like,
to
I
kill
think
you
a
just turns
cow,
into
I think a
pet.
cow from then and a cow now is pretty similar, and same with a horse. But a wolf and a dog's way
Oh,
different.
I mean, yeah. Think of all the different dog breeds.
Yeah, that's different because that's a whole different species. Like undomesticated cow and a domesticated cow is still the same damn thing. Like a Labrador Retriever and a wolf aren't the same damn.
You don't
thing.
think a cow would like have horns?
No, probably a
Or no, like
a man
you think
does.
a girl cow maybe?
No, I don't think so. I think
Or
it's-
just a cow? Yeah, girls are
I think they're the
cows.
same as they are now.
Huh?
Like, I don't think they went from wolves to dogs. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, not overnight. That's the weird thing about evolution. Like, do
It's
the
not
wolves
even-
like do they just like this one generation is a wolf and then like the next generation is like, okay, now you're a dog.
No, it's like the bitch wolf has a bitch wolf, and then it's another bitch wolf.
But then like does
and I don't mean a girl. I mean like a little bitch.
yeah,
like-
yeah, like just like submissive, doesn't want to like fight
Yeah.
for their food. They just want people to feed them. It's
Yeah,
easier, like they're
and
sheltered.
they start liking the humans, but I don't know how you go from wolf to Beano.
That's the
I don't know how you
no, but yeah, being
or
like an
wolf-
actual dog, like a golden retriever.
wolf to Griffey or Bull. How do you get that?
Yeah, like a small, petite Shih Tzu.
Yeah, how do you get to that from a wolf?
Well, that's genetically modifying the dog. Like you just breed dogs together.
Yeah, but how do you have different like what?
No,
what
but how
was-
does no because
did a
it's,
wolf mate with a fox and make this other type of and then a wolf mated with that thing?
well, I think that there's probably certain breeds that were like
Well, is that how a dog?
that became a thing.
but
think
I don't
there's
know-
certain breeds of dogs that came a thing.
Okay,
when they were in
but I'm
different
getting it. I'm
environments and it
talking
changed
yeah,
over time.
Yeah, I can see that. Like wolves on this continent and this continent were different. I could see that.
Or even different dogs from the same like area. They spread out with like different tribes.
Yeah, but I forgot what I was trying to get at right there. Something about the little dogs. I don't know.
No, but
Oh,
okay,
no,
but
no,
the weird
if a-
what?
if a
Okay,
wolf
go ahead. Sorry.
And like a fox mated and had a kid, and you were saying that could have been true. Like, but I don't know of any actual dog breeds that have like fox in them, like fox.
No,
genetics.
I didn't say that at all. No, I'm saying like the dogs that came from a wolf.
Yeah.
They ventured out in different tribes. They were in different areas, so they adapted differently to certain environments that they were in. So over time, those dog breeds changed from the original breed of that dog.
Yeah, I
ventured
can
off.
see that.
That's
That's
what I'm
already
saying.
like, dude. Well, you
and
can't
then from
tell
that, you're
from
able to breed different dogs together to get
yeah,
to, like,
but
the
from
small
like
one.
from like your eye, you can't tell probably a wolf tribe from a wolf tribe. But just in those wolf tribes, like the genetics are insanely different.
JP, is the camera on?
It's kind of like humans.
Okay,
Like
but
our genetics are way different, I guess.
think about evolution. So think about the state when the dog became a dog and the wolf became a wolf.
The wolf was the wolf.
Did it just become the wolf turned into the dog overnight, or was there
No.
like an inner between stage, like a transitionary phase
dude,
of like a breed of
like
dog?
how a monkey went to a human.
We're from the same like
Homo
family tree.
sapien,
We're from the same tree. We're not the same as a monkey.
how human, whatever the pre-human was.
Prehistoric human, like a different like our different species, like we were Homo
Yeah,
sapiens, and then
like what was the thing before, like that we came? Yeah,
Like probably we were like on 4 legs. Like I think the Homo sapien we became bipedal.
I don't. Okay, whatever. I'm just saying though. That's like how a
No,
wolf became a
there's
dog.
there's a couple ants. Actually, I'm wrong about
Yeah.
that. That was like the finished product where he stands
yeah, there's a
up.
couple
That's a Homo
things.
sapien.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, that's how like it went from a wolf to a dog. It probably had a bunch of transitional periods until it was a dog.
Okay, what do you think about that? What do you think the origin of like a whale? You know how like a whale used to be a land animal?
I think I've heard
Over
that, or
time,
like dolphins were.
It's like it took
Yeah,
like a
well,
couple
they
million
breathe
years.
air. Yeah, they breathe air.
So like, how does it become how is it a land animal? Like it almost looks like kind of like a fox almost in a way, not an actual fox. But like
Wait,
it's
that's
on
what it
4
actually
legs.
looked like.
It looks like a rat almost, like a
You
rat,
saw
a
this?
bigger rat, and it looks like they're just going into the water, and it turns into a whale eventually. How the hell does that happen? Why does it ever go into the water?
Well, okay, they probably live in an environment that is water. Like they probably hunt in the water, maybe. And they could probably already have held their breath. But how do they get to holding their breath like that? Like where
Yeah,
do
how
get
can they
that
hold their
trait?
breath for 20 minutes? How do you go from a
Not
minute
even.
to 20?
No, that can happen over time. I mean, a human. David Blaine did that.
Okay, but then like,
But
how do you
over
pass that on to your
centuries.
ancestors?
Like, dude,
Or
there's
how do you
people.
pass it on to
There's
the-
a people in the Philippines that live on these like floating villages, basically.
Yeah.
And those people have like blown their eardrums out so they can hold their breath really long and go super deep without screwing up their ears.
But you have to blow your eardrums off.
Yeah, but that's just what they do as a kid, like as the tribe. Like they do it when they're kids.
Okay.
And over time they've been able to hold their breath insanely long.
You know what? You know what thing that hasn't really changed?
What? But that was interesting about the
Whale?
dolphin thing and a whale. I don't know.
That's
dude.
weird.
Like I would definitely I couldn't even tell you. Like, what do you actually think?
Well, I mean, it's like that's why it's a little,
Like, it
I'm a
gets a
little skeptic
blowhole.
about that idea. Like, how did it just
Yeah.
happen like that?
But I can see it because they have blowholes. Like they breathe air. Like I can definitely see where people make that connection.
It'd be so weird to have a kid to pass your offspring on with the same species, and then have a completely different thing because you just were swimming in the water. Because you just adapt
that
to living in the
happens
water.
Over, like that will happen over like if you did that for 5 generations, there would be something different from that first generation to that 5th generation. Something slightly different.
Oh, but it's DNA. You pass on your DNA to your offspring, and your offspring has like a code of like predispositions and then like
But-
certain like things that you know that you can do better.
Yeah.
You know how to live.
Dude,
just
I don't
naturally.
know. I just know like
Because think about an animal.
It's-
They just are born and they
it's
just
just-
like, automatically know how to live.
and then yeah.
They just automatically know how to live. Like a dog's like a month and it knows exactly what to do.
Yeah.
It's their offspring. It's so strong. How are we doing on time here?
It doesn't tell me, but we're doing good. I mean, we got to keep we're going.
Is there anything you want to talk about? You got anything?
Dude, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought that was interesting about the whale thing, though. Like, I don't know how it gets to be a whale. I could see how it gets to be a dolphin. But getting to be a whale, like a whale's a
How's it
big
get that
animal.
Yeah. It's the
And you know
biggest-
what else? Another thing, like killer
animal.
whales, dude. Those things are the top dogs in the ocean. Those things are badass.
Do you
Like,
thi-
that thing will fuck you up if you go in the water.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's probably eating a shark
I saw
in one
this.
bite.
Yeah, I saw this video of them like a pod. Dude, a pod of orcas is the scariest thing you can imagine. If you're
Yeah.
in the
Like a
water.
like
a pod of orcas,
mean pack.
the smartest thing in the ocean.
You ever seen that video of them just like breaking through the ice?
I saw, yeah, probably, but I've seen a video of them hunting a seal, and they just mess with it. They'll go deep and swim up and knock it with its nose like 25 feet in the air, and then
Mhm.
they'll just kill it right there.
Dude,
on
it's
contact.
smart.
Yeah,
It's a really smart
they know
animal.
how to kill it.
Well, mammals are smart. Mammals are able to like.
Well, those things are they can speak.
Well, they're
to
able
each
also
other.
to like communicate too. Like they
Yes.
have their own language, like dolphins.
Yeah,
um,
those things are special.
Let me give you another one. What do you think? What do you think future humans will look like? Do you think they'll look different from us in 2,000 years?
100%.
And what do you think is going to change?
I think the mouth keeps getting smaller.
Okay. Do you
just
think
like
their
it has
nose
the
gets
jaw.
smaller?
Maybe.
Do
Probably.
we all turn into Michael Jackson?
Not that small, but like your airways probably get smaller. Both airways probably get smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes probably get smaller.
I don't know. Do you even have hair anymore? Like, can you even grow hair on your arms? Do you even grow hair on your
How long
legs?
are we talking?
2,000 years.
Oh my gosh, I don't think that's long enough.
Well, think about how fast everything's going to change, like exponentially with technology.
Yeah, but
things
hair.
will change.
I don't think hair.
I mean, if we think about
If
it,
we're
we get it-
talking like
we'll probably be
15,000 years.
we'll probably be half robot by then.
In 15,000 years?
In 2,000 years, we'll probably be full
Yes, yeah.
full sentient.
But then something's gonna happen, and it's all gonna blow up, and then it's gonna go back to square one.
Well, I know there's a determined end to it.
Yeah, but do you think there's gonna be another great disaster of human civilization before the world ends?
I don't know. I think there'll be great suffering.
Like, do you think do you think another meteor hits Earth and causes a cloud, and basically almost everybody dies, or 97% of the world population dies, and
I don't know.
it's not the end of the world? Like, then there's still another 10,000 years after that.
I don't know. I mean, it won't be the world we're living in if it's 10,000 years from what's happening to us.
But
I
if
mean,
that
it's just gonna be
happens
a
and
lot of
basically
suffering.
everything's wiped out and only 3% of the world's left, like,
I don't know. I
it's
mean,
gonna take a while to get things back. Like the cloud from the meteor won't even clear for a couple years, I think, or something crazy like that.
and then 12,000 years from that point, there'll be another Randall Carlson and Daniel Carlson and
Talking about our
fuck,
civilization.
what's the guy named? Graham Hancock and
Graham
Daniel
Hancock
Carlson. There'll be
and
another
Randall
those guys saying, "Hey, this happened 12,000 years ago," and everyone's
There
like,
was
"You're
this
crazy. You're
place-
crazy."
There was the greatest civilization in the world, all over the world.
They had
that was-
supercomputers at their disposal. They could fit in their
They could
pockets.
translate any language with a handheld device.
They were able to build.
And imagine what's their form of podcast? Is it at the town center in front of everybody, or do they have something crazier than computers?
I don't know. Maybe they're just. I don't know. Maybe it's just like it's all in subtitles because they just think.
And do they have phones? Like, are they saying they had these things that they would look at and type on and could do anything in the
it'd
palm
be
of their
different. It'd
hand?
probably be a different version of what we have, but it'd be something similar to get to the point of being self-sustaining, having like real shelter, having real like.
Yeah, but what if
controlling your
I'm
environment.
talking about what if the thought of an iPhone is just completely foreign to them? Like, they could never imagine a handheld.
Yeah, whatever that
device
can
like-
help them telecommunicate for sure.
But I'm just saying, not even that. Like, how you can do everything on a phone. They're saying you could do anything from the palm of your hand.
I know it'll be
Like,
different.
they couldn't even imagine that then.
No, I know they'll develop something like that,
Yeah,
but it'll be
something-
different
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll have something crazy.
because it's solving a problem.
But just thinking of that, like thinking they'd have things like it could just never be even fathomed. Just like how we cannot fathom how the pyramids were made. Like,
Mhm.
but we don't know. Like, I guess. But
we don't know how they did it, but they were made.
Yeah, but it's hard. I don't know really how to put it, but it's weird to think about, like, if that happened in 12,000 years after this was wiped out.
Yeah.
And they're talking about us now. So if we really get into it, 12,000 years ago when those civilizations were wiped out, what if they were talking about a civilization that was thousands of years ago?
Well, I'm just gonna be the person who doesn't even play that game of mirrors. I'm just gonna say there wasn't a civilization 12,000 years ago.
Well, there definitely was 12,000 years ago, but I don't think
Not an
about
advanced civilization.
I don't think about 24,000 years ago.
But not an advanced civilization. I don't believe that.
Dude, there's cities. There's evidence.
There's okay. Well, we don't even know what happened 2,000 years ago. So how do we know what happened 12,000 years ago?
Jesus was around 2,000 years ago.
I know they get things wrong. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to date things.
Well, that's tough, dude.
How do you record history? It's extremely
Written.
tough.
That's the only way they can do it.
Yeah, and
That gets back to the Napoleon movie, man. Why those letters were so heavily into the movie, I think, is because it's such a first-hand account of Napoleon.
Yeah, but I think they really wanted to really lean into a certain like personality trait
Of his,
Napoleon.
I can, yeah.
They
that's
definitely
cool.
wanted to lean into and show a shadow
Something.
of that side
Yeah,
of Napoleon.
I
want to
agree,
see
but
I want to
You
see
can
the
see where I'm
warmonger.
coming from up on that, though. Like, where I'm coming from, like, they have all these first-hand accounts from him at war. And
Yeah,
why
that's.
they
I
put
mean,
it.
I just that's why I just didn't like the movie because I don't like how they leaned into it.
Doesn't like a Grammy movie?
How do you know it's gonna win the Grammy?
Dude, it's win a Grammy. I mean,
It's
an
not-
Oscar. An Oscar.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It was very disappointing. I got a 60 on Rotten Tomatoes. Obviously, a lot of people agree with what I'm saying.
Yeah, but there's a lot of movies that get 20 on Rotten Tomatoes and get like 95 on that.
Yeah, but they never
popcorn
win an
score.
Oscar.
It's Joaquin Phoenix. What
Yeah,
other
I know
movie's
it's
gonna win an
Joaquin
Oscar?
Phoenix.
Non-Flowers of the Gray Moon or whatever.
No, they won't. I don't know. Maybe this Maestro movie
Who's-
with Bradley Cooper coming out, playing like some conductor. I think
That
it's
could be
something
really
Bernstein.
cool. That could be really cool.
Because you get to show the raw passion. You get to see
Yeah.
like the actual struggle that this person had to go through. and, like,
Imagine
the
Joaquin
what it
Phoenix playing
overcame.
that character.
No, so you know what? He doesn't need every role. I like Bradley Cooper in this. This is gonna be
No,
good.
I do,
It's gonna be a
but
good
dude,
one.
can you
Bradley
just-
Cooper's a good guy.
I know you can imagine in your head right now Joaquin Phoenix playing like a troubled conductor.
I can see him playing a circus clown too.
Well, because he did.
No, he didn't.
He played Joker.
No, but like an actual circus
Oh,
clown, not the
okay.
Joker character already
Okay, well,
made,
it's pretty
established.
That's pretty close though. Joker and a clown.
No, because he played the Joker so much differently than like what most Jokers are. Like he's an antisocial Joker, and then like
Well, he was
didn't
at
even
first.
he didn't even start chaos. Like, chaos just kind of started because of like his involuntary.
Well, how would you
action.
think it happened?
Like I like the Heath Ledger Joker that actually knows how to like mastermind, be a mastermind, and like strategically like get what he wants.
Dude, that was years after he became the Joker.
He's the best Joker.
Yeah.
Okay, even Jack Nicholson.
I
Jack
agree,
Nicholson's
Ledger
like the witty, like
Dude, he
tricky,
was a weirdo.
tricky like Joker. Like here's the card trick. Boop, boop. Like
Yeah,
he
that
does like
was
the little. He leans
stupid.
into the clown stuff a little more. Joaquin Phoenix is completely different, and he's probably the third best Joker. I'm not even gonna mention. I will mention it, but Jared Leto sucked. I'm not even gonna say that Joker. That was a joke.
All right, we can-
like he's a gangster
Next
Joker.
subject. I don't care to talk about you if you say
Okay. Oh,
Joaquin
Jackson says
Phoenix.
move on. We're moving on.
Joaquin Phoenix. You say is the third best Joker over Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, same thing.
No, it's not. Jack Nicholson.
I don't mean the golfer. You know who I mean though.
Jack Nicholson. Yeah, Jack Nicholson's great.
He is great, but wasn't he in that movie? What was it called? The one with Leo.
Yeah, what, The Departed?
Yeah, The Departed.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Great movie.
It's a great movie. Yeah, God, what time is it, dude? I'm freaking tired. How long have we been going for, Paul?
Dude, it's 10:30.
Hour 10.
Okay, we're cool.
All right, let's just close on this. Let's just wrap everything up here. Ladies and gentlemen, you can control what you can control. Just remember that. You can always speculate what happened. Shoot, we got to the point where we said there was an advanced civilization 12,000 years ago. But really, do we know that happened or not? No, but we can speculate. But what we can't speculate is how you control your own life. That you make your history, you make your destiny, you set your mindset and go fucking get it. So you know what? With that said, and if our favorite listeners who've made it this far, we love you, but go fuck yourself.